Hey guys, welcome to Raw Customs. I'm your host, Patrick Rapolo, and on this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make a Mortal Kombat inspired ninja mask. And of course, I have templates as well as a kit. You can find those in the description area below. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 2, guys. This is a very simple build. So if you're one of those people that have been looking for a project to get started or get into prop building, this is a great option. Number one, because it doesn't take much material. It's something you could build over and over and actually just improve your skill level with. So what are you going to need for this build? Well, if you're going to go the template route, you're going to need to pick up one sheet of 5mm foam. You're going to need a sheet of plastic yarn canvas. You can get both of those at Hobby Lobby. Also, you might want to go ahead and pick you up some elastic so you can have something to hold it on. That's one option. So my idea is to actually get a ski mask, one of those full ski masks, and actually put some magnets on the side and inside the actual mask itself, so when you put it on, it just clipped on. I think that'd be a cool idea. It's something I plan on giving a try. And it's an option for you guys. So as far as tools you're going to need, of course, a razor knife, a rotary tool, some type of glue. I recommend contact cement, and of course, PLASTI dip to seal it, and paint it to finish it. Now, as far as the kit's concerned, I have two options for you. The first one is a slotted side section and front. Of course, with the laser cutter, I have engraved dragons into the side and to the front. Now, if you don't want those to show, all you have to do is flop your sides and flip over the centerpiece, and the smooth section will be on your outside surface. For the second one, I actually have kind of an angled section in the middle and an open section on the side. It also has a dragon on the side that you can put on the outside if you want. This one has the smooth surface out. Now, I also have two sizes, so you'll be able to select from there. I have a larger one and this one a smaller one. They both come each way. You'll just have to choose large or small for whichever one you choose. As far as the templates are concerned, you'll actually get a set of large and small for each selection, all bundled together. Alright guys, let's get to the build. The kit comes with the top, the two side pieces, the two sections for the front, the bottom edges for each side, and plastic mesh for the back inlay. Dragons are engraved on the front and side sections. If you don't want them, you can simply flip the sections over and use the blank sides out. To start, use a heat gun to heat the top section. Then bend the section along the engraved line. The section will start to form as you work your way to the center nose area. Don't bend the area at the bridge of the nose. Instead, you'll want to lift at this section. This will help to bow and pull the sides in. Now take the two pieces for the center section. There's a reference line for glue around the front edge. If you're using the blank side, I recommend stacking the center sections and tracing a reference line. To glue your pieces together, I recommend contact cement. Apply glue to the front bottom section, around the edges, along the reference line, and on the back side surface area of the front center section. Allow the glue time to set up and then press your pieces together, starting at the top. Then work your way down each side, keeping the edges flush. Now take the top section and apply glue along the bottom surface area, along the front edge. On the side sections, apply glue to the top edge. Press your sections together, starting at the front edge and working your way to the back. Take your time and keep the outside edge flush. Next, apply glue to the front inside surface area on the sides along the front edge and to the bottom front surface area of the top. On the center section, apply glue around the edges, around the top, and along the sides. Press the center section in place starting at the top. Line up the center and then work your way to the side. You'll want to keep the front edges flush. As you glue down the side section, you'll notice the piece start to curve and form itself. Next, apply glue to the top surface area at the back edge, to the side inside surface area, along the back and bottom edge. You also need to apply glue to the bottom edge of the side piece, around an inch down from the front, and to the bottom edges of the center section. On your bottom side pieces, apply glue to the front inside surface area about an inch up, and along the top edge. Press the bottom section in place starting at the top back corner, and press the top section together. Then work your way down the back edge to the bottom corner. At the corner, you'll need to make a sharp bend. Along the bottom edge, glue the bottom section to the side surface area until you get to the angled point. At the point, roll over the bottom section and glue it down to the bottom edge of the side section. Next, roll the bottom of the center section down and press it in place along the bottom edge of the bottom section. Now it's time to clean up your edges. I recommend using a rotary tool with a grinding stone. I recommend sanding over all your seams and making sure your edges are flush. I recommend rounding over all the edges as well. Once you're done sanding, your piece should look something like this. Here's a before and after shot. Here you can really see what a difference a little sanding makes. If you need to form the mask to make it fit better, you can heat the top section and squeeze the piece in. But be careful, the heat gun could reactivate the glue and the pieces could separate. Here's a mask painted without the seams filled. It doesn't look bad, but if you want to take it up a notch, I recommend filling the seams. You could use Quicksil for this if you wanted to. But here's something new I was trying out I wanted to share with you guys. Using super glue and spot putty. I'm using super glue gel and applying it along the seam. Since it's a gel, you can spread it and force it into the crack using a razor. Since the super glue sets up pretty quick, I recommend working 1 inch to 2 inches at a time. Now the one thing I like about the super glue, it's sandable. So once the glue is dry, I sanded it down with 220 grit. I recommend using a finer grit, but that's all I had on hand at the time. Next, I applied the Bondo spot putty filler. I applied it in small sections at a time and very thin coats. The super glue and Bondo can be hazardous to you guys, so make sure and read the warning labels. And when you're sanding, I recommend using a dust mask. The Bondo takes about half an hour to set up before you can sand. I sanded all the edges smooth and then wiped everything down with a damp cloth. To seal the mask, I recommend using PLASTI dip. Here I'm using 2 light coats followed by 2 heavy coats. That was followed up by 2 coats of red paint. Sorry guys, forgot to hit the record button. On this mask I decided to hit it with the airbrush and add a little detail. Then everything covered with 2 coats of matte clear. Next, take your black mesh and cut it to fit the inside center area and the side sections. I recommend using hot glue to glue the mesh in place. To make the mask wearable, I know you guys can get creative, but here's one idea. Just cut a couple of straps of elastic and glue them into the back corners. Alright guys, there you go, the MK Ninja mask. I'm going to give you a real close look up where the seams should be but aren't. That new technique I'm working on with the super glue and the Bondo seems to be working very well. I've been twisting around, pushing and pulling on this mask and trying to create a crack, and so far I haven't seen anything happen. So I'm just going to see how it works with some longevity, you know, sitting out in the heat for a couple of months and see if I get any cracks or anything. But so far so good. Now if you're going to try that technique, do not use the Bondo without the super glue. The first time I used the Bondo, it reactivated the contact cement and my seam completely opened up. And that's why I used the super glue, because I used super glue to pull the seam back together, and then tried the Bondo again and had no problem with it. So it was one of those happy accidents that just worked out where I figured out something new. So if you try it, actually shoot me some message and let me know how it worked for you. And if you have any ideas of anything like that, go ahead and shoot them to me. I'd love to hear from you and be able to share them with the other people, you know, that are actually watching us, you know. So anyway, closer look at that one. The second style here, I use the same technique on this one. You can see the seams are gone. Everything looks nice and smooth. Now, here's one of the early ones, one of the test builds, and you can see the seams in here. And I didn't put anything on here, I just glued it and smoothed out the seams, and you can see how good that actually still looks without even filling the seams. So like I said, for you guys that are looking to get into prop building, been looking for something cheap to start with, something easy, this is a great build. It almost forms itself. Most of the work is going to be with your rotary tool smoothing everything out. Well, alright guys, that's it for this episode. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one.